In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways to navigate this 1221 portal gateway energy as we move forward in 2021, you being able to embody the new you, being able to embrace the new year, and being able to connect to the new earth in such a way that you bring it all into your reality. Hello, fellow flames. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I hope you live fearless, live loved, and live free. In this twin flame energy update, I'm going to discuss the energy around the 1221 portal here in 2020. But if you'd like to know more about the history of that, make sure that you check out the 1221 portal video that I did last year. And also some information leading up to this gateway, the portals that we've been going through over the last month, 6-8 weeks. I have a video on that from last week that I'll make sure that you have links to these videos below and at the end of this, this video. So check that out so you can get up to speed if you haven't already done so on that information. But in case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I hope you live fearless, live loved, and live free. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know that you are here so I can welcome you personally. And for all of you who are returning, I am so excited to share with you a whole new level of myself as I've been going through this total transformation, of course, through this whole twin flame journey. But it has really picked up speed in the last few months, and it's going to continue to become like a lot more to where I see an updated video series coming that is about total transformation, body, mind, heart, and soul, and then how that links to our twin flame journey. And I'm going to share more about my journey of how I've transformed over this timeline. You know, in this timeline, though, what I want to talk about is how this impact of this gateway of the 1221 energy represents the completion of the karmic patterns of the collective, and then how that connects to the convergence of energy coming here full circle as we dissolve the masculine ways, the masculine patterns and templates, and we basically come into alignment with our feminine empowerment, but in a very graceful way. This energy then is connected to a combination of the Saturn and Jupiter coming into conjunction within this portal, and in Aquarius, I even should say. And with that being said, this is like the heaven on earth coming into form that is literally bringing forth the Age of Aquarius so that we can all live from a place of peace, love, joy, harmony. But we're basically embodying that, and we are embracing this, and we're emerging from this new place. So let's jump into 3 ways that I want to share with you in order to help you harness this energy of this portal that will bring enlightenment to your ability to implement these new things as you transform going forward in 2021. So the first thing that you need to know that will help you navigate the new earth, the new year, and the new you is that you are embodying all aspects, all truth, all light from its highest perspective and highest frequency that you have known to date. This portal of energy that is coming through in this timeline is carrying with it the highest form of light in its highest, purest version frequency that we have known to date. And that energy is literally coming in order to activate, accelerate, and connect to your highest divinity, your highest destiny within all areas of your life and at all the same time. And so Basically, what that means is that you're being asked to pay more attention to your awareness and your connectivity to yourself, your senses, your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul desires. So as this comes together, we're basically, what we've been doing in this karmic clearing is uncovering and discovering and releasing all the interference that has blocked us from seeing our lost self, the lost parts of ourselves, or maybe those parts in ourselves that we have hidden because we haven't wanted to see up until this point. We have ran from those shadows or those aspects that we have suppressed because it's been too painful to connect with or to feel. And so all of these triggers and the whole twin flame journey has been happening in order to expand your emotional intelligence within your heart so that you can shift from that head logic into heart language and become more aware of your feelings in this process, because your feelings are what magnetizes towards you what it is that you basically is your highest version of your destiny. And in the process of this, what is something that's really, really cool to know and understand is you keep hearing me talk about reprogramming the childhood wounds, which, by the way, if you're still working on this, I'm going to put a link below so you can connect to that online course that I did, and the first module of that is free. But this is all linked to the DNA of our being in our body, and our soul, and our heart, and our mental awareness. But physically, we have a DNA, which is a code, a strand of light that literally is real light in our body. And that all of this has been recoding our DNA. And that's why we've had to go through all the reprogramming of the genetics of the DNA of our bloodline, because that bloodline we've been carrying in our frequency, in our body, and in our field of our greater highest self of awareness of programs that have been locked away in our subconscious. That's like a intellectual intelligence that is connected to the divine and the divinity. So in order for us to see, feel, and become aware of that highest divinity, our subconscious coding has had to also cleanse and purify and reprogram. But to do that, we've had to wake into the awareness of that. And so in the process of that, we have basically been going through what I've been being shown is this forward and reversing of the coding. So this is pretty deep. So I'm going to simplify this in a way that hopefully makes more sense, but no, it's much deeper than what I'm going to share. So in basically, we have the 12, how that links, I should say, to the 1221 portal is the 1221 portal is a palindrome. And the palindrome represents like the 1, 2, 2, 1. And we go through it in one direction, we come through it in another. It's a complete full circle, full cycle, and completion of a journey of any one thing. So I'm going to start from the DNA of that. So our DNA and our DNA codes, it literally transforms or duplicates itself, moving in one stream of direction of its polymer, that then once it goes through one direction, because there's been in the history 2 strands of DNA, so it creates itself in one direction, and then it duplicates and processes itself in the opposite direction, bringing those both strands in mirrored and opposite polarity connections, just like the whole twin flame concept does with your twin flame, that we're going in one direction to create, and then we're coming in the other direction to co-create the image of that, to create the balance of that. And so if you take that and link that to and I've talked about this in a lot of other videos, when we go through these cycles of clearing, we're going through it in one direction to kind of awaken to it and become more aware of it. And then we're going through it in another direction in order to take the action within that, in order to gain out of it the embodiment, or bringing it into physical form, that which we created. Okay, so this is really deep. So we're creating one direction, and then in the other direction, we're literally, I should say, let me start over. We're creating the awareness or the awakening in one direction. And then in the other direction, we're bringing it into form as we revisit it in reverse. So it's like the mirror image, which is all the whole twin flame journey. So even with your twin flame, you might have been learning this stuff in one direction, or let's just start over there. You're awakening with them in one direction, and in the opposite direction, you're actually bringing it into form. So when I talk about this concept of embodiment and to the physical form, what you've been doing in this whole time is awakening yourself, going up into the 5D enlightened consciousness, connectivity, and activation. And now what we're moving into in that is we're then embodying that, and we're bringing into form, kind of in reverse, that which we have been working towards. But then also doing that, because this is multidimensionally, we're connecting to our lost parts of our soul's fragments and our aspects, and we're waking up and connecting and aligning with our archetypes, coming into the integration of all of ourselves. And then that connects multidimensionally into our layered dimensions of our body, mind, heart, and soul, as we bring wholeness, completion, and oneness. That is this oneness within that's creating a collective unity in humanity. And that collective unity of humanity has been something that we've cleared collectively enough karma, both, I should say, in the collective and then individually, that now we're doing this into reverse to actually receive everything that we knew was coming into form. So the second thing to know that is happening during this portal of energy, it's, as you embody that, it's raising your frequency to allow everything that's unlocked inside of you now to emerge. This is how it's not just coming in from you going both of those pathways to the forward and the reverse of it, but now not only did you embody it, but it is coming into your reality. You're coming forth as the new you. You're coming forth in the new way. You're coming forth in the highest version of you and the greatest potential, because everything that we talked about with that DNA has been creating an activation of the greatest potential inside of your body. And this then is helping you start to create more harmony from the inside out, and it's helping you achieve the intuition, knowing, and connection to these feelings and these thoughts and these emotions that is inside of you that wants to come out. Those hidden parts are literally, you can feel it in your intuition and or in your soul on some level. And that's why a lot of you have been feeling, I don't know what it is, but there's something coming, and it's something big. And it's like, I talk about the lotus all the time, and, the embodiment was the creation of those roots. Now the emergence is overnight. That lotus flower comes up and blossoms and comes out. And as it's coming up through to be visibly seen. And so what that means is everything that you've known is going to come into like a visual version of it becoming your reality. And so this is where it gets super important in this process to navigate this emergence, is to focus on staying in alignment with your highest version of these things, of yourself and of your truth and of your thoughts and of your belief systems and of your purpose and your mission, and to not get too attached to any one thing, because the minute you do, you're blocking your ability to become more. And that this whole journey is about you recoding that highest version of you in that highest form of light, so you can shine brighter, bolder, more beautiful, and in a more expanded way. And I've talked about this in the past through the Twin Flame Ascension process, that if you've not checked out my playlist on the Twin Flame Ascension Redefined, I'll make sure I have a link for that below too. I talk about more of the history of the concept of the rebirthing process of what we're talking about here, and how you literally get stuck in that sometimes, hanging on to the old stuff, and then you're being guided to the new stuff, and you're kind of on the fence in the middle, but you're rebirthing in becoming, and both sides of you exist. So in this new version of this new energy, it's going to be like you're going to be faced with a lot of different things, a lot of different choices, and the choices are partly your power at this point to determine what you want to create. And so it's not so much about looking outside of you and saying that, like, what does the divine want me, and what do my guides and angels want to send me to, and what direction do I go, because you've like followed a path and a pattern of things that you've been coded with to help you trust this journey. But what's happening now is people are like going, oh, well, those signs and those paths aren't lining up anymore. And I'm seeing this a lot with clients. And the reason being is because you've become your navigator. You've become the universe within. And those signs and synchronicities are now illusions that are going to continue to like feed you split sides of this journey until you come into this connection that you are the co-creator, and that what do you choose to create, and what do you want, and what do you choose to see. And that if you think that you're set, how do I say this? It's like so many great things are coming in the vortex that it's almost hard to choose, because it can get super confusing to where something shows up and your pattern has been like, give you for instance, like of maybe people or partners are coming in that you're questioning your original twin flame, and now this one's mimicking it, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe this is my twin flame, and maybe this is my twin flame, and you go through this process of thinking that they're the one, and they're the one, and they're the one. And then what happens is you go through this concept of they're the one. What this is showing you is that you are the one technically, because they're all versions of you, and that all they're technically doing is reflecting you. And that if you're giving away your power to the concept and the idea that every time one shows up, you think they're the one, and that you're being stuck on leaving room for expansion for the one to actually show up, because you're becoming attached to something, that you're setting up an expectation and an outcome that they're going to be that fulfillment of what you thought is your one. And this is where we're shifting the, as I said, we are going up one side to come down the other. So we've went up that side to connect to all of this. Now it's coming back down the side saying, well, if the one is me, what do I want? And if this is supposed to be the one, then it will be, but I don't have to label it. I don't have to stay here and put like from the get-go is what I'm saying. It needs to evolve to becoming the one organically, not you setting up somebody as an expectation, as what most people have done from this whole concept of twin flame, is if the outcome becomes that there's a destined person, and that destined person is going to be the end all be all. And that, while that might be true, that's not going to be with anyone until you have become the highest version of yourself in the highest form. And if you continue to, every time somebody shows up, think that they are the one, and you're stuck at that frequency and you haven't came to your highest vibration, then you're not going to come into alignment with that person. And so what I'm saying here is you need to stay in alignment with your highest version of you, in a sense that as these things come through and you're working them out, are you going to hang on to your old way? Are you going to let go and then shift into this newer, higher version that will bring you more than what you could have seen at that vibration? So that leads me into the third way to help utilize this energy to help you become more of the new you on this new earth going into the new year. And that is to embrace this process. So, I want to kind of recap for 1 second as I bring this forward. So you are basically beginning to embody all of the light, all of the highest version of you, awakening to that and creating more awareness as you then go up into that awareness, seeing higher awareness, bringing that into form and embodying it, and then connecting to that, and then knowing it and owning it. Then as you now take that and emerge forward as you are that plant that's underground, not seen, and now you're breaking through the ground and coming out and coming up and growing. And then the embracing part is that all of the work has been done and that there's nothing left to do. I keep saying that to clients. If you're somebody feeling like there's nothing left to do, leave me a comment, because it is so true that really at this point the work has been done, and it really kind of comes back to, you know, that concept of what do you want to create. But something that I think would really help you in that, in your focus, would be to set an intention for 2021 to make magic happen, and to know that you now are the genie in the bottle. You now are the wizard with a wand. You are the person that can just transform these things quickly, as quick as you can see them. And if you're not seeing it, that don't push through, but allow yourself to gracefully begin to accept what's coming your way, so that then you can see what it is, that then you can allow this process to not just go in one direction, but come back towards you in a way that you are able to implement the new version, the new habits, the new way that you're going to do things, so that you're basically, I would say, embracing these waves, because these waves are going to be constant highs and lows, because that is everything. That's all that exists within consciousness, is dark and light. And that since both are going to exist, it's kind of like being able to embrace presence of this now, and to not get too far ahead of yourself yet. Know that as you are going forward, you're setting intentions to basically connect to the highest levels and the highest versions, and that as you continue to evolve through this, you're going to embrace the opening of it, the allowing of it, the more connection, more awareness, more embodiment, more emergence that is coming. And the theme personally that I see coming, that is I am so excited about for 2021, is total transformation. And in fact, I've really already been undergoing, as we all have, you know, like over the last couple of years, a lot of transformation, emotionally, physically, our hearts, our minds, our actions, our ways to implement things, our relationships with people. We're already been transforming how we navigate that. This is sort of like the grand finale of putting it all together now, which can be intense in itself. But for one of the things I see coming, and like at the beginning of the new year, is a total transformation series of sharing more about my journey of what I've been doing kind of behind the scenes of what I've shared with you, in a way that's kind of actually action, like how things that I personally took place in my physical body on many, many levels, from the inside out, to transform my DNA and my soul and my heart and my mind through different ways of programming, new patterns of action, and sharing more of my story behind it, I guess, because I know a lot of you that follow me for a long time, you can see my transformation, and there's even more coming on that I see coming into this new year, but it's coming from the new way. And there's more I'll share about that, because that is also a very impactful process that I am going to be undergoing as I embrace this new year and the new me. And so I'm excited to share with you coming up a total transformation series going forward, and how that then links to like the twin flame, and how that links to the actual twin flame journey, and how that links to yourself and your connection and your divinity and your alignment with source, and you becoming the source, and then being able to fully embody that being able to fully emerge from that place, being able to then embrace the process as you bring this full circle and get to live out the dream, basically. And that's what I feel like I'm doing now, is living out a dream. And the dream doesn't always mean that it is perfect from the logical sense, but it is perfect in the sense that it happens exactly how it needs to, and so does this whole journey. Please make sure that you like, comment, share the shine, and let me know how the synergy is impacting you. And I will see you in the next video. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.